Narcissistic abuse is often discussed in terms of emotions, relationships, and behavior. But beneath the confusion, self-doubt, and emotional pain lies something else that many people never fully understand: the effect of chronic stress on the brain and body. When a person is exposed to ongoing criticism, manipulation, unpredictability, gaslighting, or emotional control, the nervous system can begin to operate in a constant state of alert. Today we will talk about the science behind narcissistic abuse and chronic stress. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. 10. Your brain treats emotional threats like physical threats. Many people assume that stress only comes from obvious dangers, such as accidents, illness, or financial problems. However, the brain often reacts to emotional threats in surprisingly similar ways. Constant criticism, manipulation, rejection, and unpredictability can activate the body's stress response system. From the brain's perspective, a hostile emotional environment can feel like an ongoing threat. This means your body may remain in a state of heightened alertness even when no physical danger exists. Over time, this continuous activation can place significant strain on both the mind and body. 9. Stress. Hormones stay elevated for too long. When we encounter stress, the body releases hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals are useful in short-term situations because they prepare us to respond quickly to challenges. The problem occurs when stress never seems to end. In narcissistic relationships, emotional tension may be present every day. Arguments, criticism, manipulation, and uncertainty create a cycle where stress hormones remain elevated for long periods. Instead of helping the body temporarily, these chemicals begin contributing to fatigue, anxiety, sleep problems, and other health concerns. 8. Chronic stress changes how the brain functions. The brain is designed to adapt to its environment. When stress becomes chronic, the brain adjusts by focusing more attention on detecting threats. This can make people increasingly sensitive to criticism, conflict, and emotional unpredictability. While this adaptation may help someone survive a difficult relationship, it can also make everyday life feel more exhausting. The brain becomes highly focused on monitoring danger rather than supporting creativity, relaxation, and long-term planning. 7. Your memory can be affected. Many survivors of narcissistic abuse report memory problems. They forget conversations, lose track of information, or struggle to recall events clearly. This experience can be frightening because it often feels like something is wrong with their mind. Chronic stress plays a major role in this process. When the brain is overwhelmed by emotional pressure, memory and concentration often suffer. Mental energy becomes focused on managing stress rather than storing and retrieving information efficiently. 6. Hypervigilance becomes a habit. One of the most common effects of narcissistic abuse is hypervigilance. This is a state where a person constantly scans their environment for signs of danger or conflict. They monitor facial expressions, tone of voice, body language, and subtle behavioral changes. At first, this may develop as a survival strategy. The goal is to predict problems before they happen. Over time, however, hypervigilance can become exhausting because the nervous system rarely gets a chance to relax. The body remains prepared for threats even when none are present. 5. Sleep often suffers. Sleep is one of the first things affected by chronic stress. People dealing with narcissistic abuse often find it difficult to switch off mentally at the end of the day. They replay arguments, worry about future conflicts, and overanalyze interactions. Even when they manage to sleep, the quality of that sleep may be reduced. Poor sleep creates a chain reaction throughout the body. Energy levels decline. Focus decreases. Mood becomes harder to regulate. Physical recovery slows down. This is one reason chronic stress can feel so overwhelming over time. 4. The immune system can weaken. The body functions best when periods of stress are followed by periods of recovery. Chronic stress interrupts this balance. Research has shown that long-term stress can affect immune system function, making it harder for the body to operate at its best. Some people notice they become sick more often. Others experience slower recovery from illness or increased physical fatigue. While stress is not the sole cause of health problems, prolonged emotional strain can place additional pressure on the body's natural defense systems. 3. Emotional exhaustion becomes physical exhaustion. Many people entering recovery from narcissistic abuse are surprised by how physically exhausted they feel. They may believe they should have more energy because they have not been doing strenuous physical work. What they often overlook is the tremendous amount of energy required to manage emotional stress. Constantly navigating manipulation, criticism, uncertainty, and conflict can be mentally draining. Over time, emotional exhaustion often shows up physically through fatigue, low motivation, and reduced stamina. 2. The body learns to expect stress. One reason healing can take time is that the nervous system becomes accustomed to functioning in a stressful environment. After months or years of chronic tension, the brain and body may continue expecting problems even after the relationship ends. Survivors sometimes feel confused because they are finally safe, yet their anxiety remains. This reaction is normal. The nervous system needs time to learn that the danger has passed. Healing often involves gradually teaching the brain and body that constant alertness is no longer necessary. 1. Recovery begins when safety returns. The most important scientific truth about narcissistic abuse and chronic stress is that the mind and body are remarkably resilient. Although prolonged stress can affect memory, concentration, sleep, energy levels, and physical health, many of these changes are not permanent. They are often the result of a nervous system that has spent too long in survival mode. When safety, stability, and healthy relationships return, the healing process begins. Stress hormones gradually decrease. Sleep improves. Mental clarity starts returning. The body begins recovering from the strain it has been carrying. The brain slowly shifts its focus away from threat detection and back toward growth, learning, creativity, and connection. This is why so many survivors describe feeling as though they are becoming themselves again. They notice improvements in concentration. They feel more emotionally balanced. Their energy increases. They begin enjoying activities that once felt impossible. Perhaps most importantly, they start trusting themselves again. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.